Something happened in Nigeria this week that most people scrolled past. The Dangote Refinery just broke its own record. 700,000 barrels of crude oil processed in a single day. More than it was even designed to handle. And in the same week, aviation fuel prices were cut, meaning flying in Nigeria could actually get cheaper. I'm breaking it all down right now. Welcome to Overite. Let's start with the record. When the Dangote Refinery was built, its design capacity was 650,000 barrels per day. That alone made it the world's largest single-train petroleum refinery. This week, during a formal performance test by independent technical experts, it hit 700,000 barrels in one day, 50,000 more than its own design limit. And according to Dangote's vice president for oil and gas, this is just phase one. The plan is to reach 1.4 million barrels per day within 30 months. If that happens, the Dangote refinery becomes the largest refinery on the entire planet, not just in Africa, on Earth. Now, here is the part I need you to sit with. For decades, Nigeria was one of the world's most painful contradictions. We sit on some of the largest oil reserves on the planet, and yet we imported petrol. We imported diesel. We imported aviation fuel and paid for it all in dollars. The Dangote refinery changed that completely. Nigeria now produces its own fuel, and the surplus we export it to the United Kingdom, France, Spain, the United States, and Saudi Arabia, one of the biggest oil nations in the world. According to S&P Global Commodities, the Dangote refinery became the world's largest exporter of jet fuel in April 2026. Nigeria, the world's largest jet fuel exporter. Let that sink in. Now, what does this mean for your flight ticket? On June 6th, Dangote cut aviation fuel prices by 100 naira per litre, from 1,650 naira down to 1,550 naira, with immediate effect for airlines and distributors. Aviation fuel is one of the biggest costs any Nigerian airline carries. When it gets cheaper, airlines spend less per flight, and over time, that saving should reach passengers through lower ticket prices. Will it happen overnight? No. Airlines have other pressures: foreign exchange, maintenance, leasing costs. But a consistent downward trend in aviation fuel is the most direct path to affordable flights for Nigerians. And that trend just moved in the right direction. Let me zoom out quickly because this story is bigger than fuel prices. Nigeria no longer depends on imported refined petroleum. That is energy security. When global oil markets are disrupted, and they have been this year, Nigeria is now protected in a way we never were before. Every litre we produce locally is a litre we don't pay for in dollars. That saves foreign exchange. And with half of Dangote's exports going to other African countries, Nigeria is becoming Africa's energy hub. That is not just economics. That is geopolitical influence on this continent for decades to come. The Dangote refinery breaking 700,000 barrels per day is not just a business milestone. It is a statement. We went from importing our own crude oil's refined products to becoming the world's largest jet fuel exporter. Nigeria is changing, and it is changing in our favor. This is Overite. Subscribe for weekly Nigerian and African business and tech stories that actually matter. See you in the next one.